Hi Reds, stay tuned, because today we are diving into some absolutely massive Manchester United stories that could seriously shape the direction of this summer transfer window at Old Trafford. From the latest situation surrounding Marcus Rashford and his future with FC Barcelona, to fresh claims about Sandro Tonali potentially wanting out of Newcastle United, and now the growing expectation that Casemiro could be heading to Inter Miami CF. Yes, you heard that right. This summer is already looking absolutely explosive for Manchester United fans worldwide. Make sure you stay connected to United updates and never miss the next upcoming updates, because things are moving incredibly fast behind the scenes at Old Trafford, and every single day feels like another major twist in this rebuild under Michael Carrick. According to reports from Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United and Barcelona are currently in contact to try and find a solution regarding Marcus Rashford's future, and this story is becoming more and more fascinating the deeper you look into it. United reportedly want around €30 million, while Barcelona are trying everything possible to avoid paying that full amount. And honestly, Reds, this tells you everything about modern football finances right now. Barcelona clearly admire Rashford, they clearly see quality in him, and most importantly, Rashford himself reportedly wants to remain there. That alone is a huge development, because for years, many United supporters believed Marcus Rashford would spend his entire career at Old Trafford. But football changes quickly, confidence changes quickly, systems change quickly, and sometimes a player simply needs a different environment to rediscover himself. Now here is where it becomes emotional for many United fans, because let's be honest, when Marcus Rashford is at his best, he is electric. Devastating pace, direct running, frightening movement in transition, and those moments under the lights at Old Trafford where he could absolutely destroy defenders, 1 versus 1. We have seen it in Europe. We have seen it against the biggest clubs, and we have seen him carry Manchester United through difficult periods almost single-handedly. But the reality is that consistency has been the issue, and perhaps this move benefits all parties involved. United need funds to continue rebuilding this squad. Rashford may need a fresh chapter away from the pressure and noise surrounding Old Trafford, and Barcelona believe they can unlock that world-class version of him again. But Reds, here is the big question for all of you. Would you sell Marcus Rashford permanently for just €30 million? Or do you believe Manchester United should be demanding far more for a player with his experience, profile, and quality? Because let that sink in. Only a few years ago, people were discussing Rashford as one of the faces of Manchester United's future. That is how quickly football can change. Personally, I still believe there is a top-class footballer inside Marcus Rashford, but perhaps the relationship between player and club has simply reached a stage where a fresh beginning suits everybody. Sometimes a move can completely revive a career, and maybe Barcelona's style of football could suit him perfectly. Then we move to another absolutely huge talking point involving Sandro Tonali, and this one could seriously divide opinion among the United faithful. According to comments from TalkSport journalist Alex Crook, Tonali has reportedly wanted out of Newcastle since January, and there were already suggestions on deadline day that he had been offered to Manchester United. Unbelievable, but true. And now the conversation has exploded once again, because many fans are beginning to compare Tonali with names currently linked to United's midfield rebuild, especially Elliot Anderson. Now this is where things get really interesting from a football perspective, because if Tonali genuinely becomes available, Manchester United simply have to explore that situation seriously. Why? Because this lad has got proper Premier League intensity written all over him. Aggressive in duels, technically secure, excellent passing range, brilliant engine, and tactically intelligent. He plays with personality. He plays with authority. And perhaps most importantly for a Manchester United side trying to return to the very top, he plays with that fire and edge that Old Trafford fans absolutely adore. You can already imagine it, can't you, Reds? Sandro Tonali under the lights at Old Trafford, spraying passes across the pitch, winning second balls, driving through midfield, dictating tempo in front of the Stretford end. That is the type of midfielder Manchester United supporters dream about. And if reports are accurate that he could actually cost less than some other midfield targets, then serious questions need to be asked internally at the club. Because while Elliot Anderson is a very talented player with huge potential, Tonali already looks like someone who could immediately transform the mentality and balance of a midfield. And let's be brutally honest here, Manchester United's midfield has lacked control, aggression, and consistency for too long. Too many games have become stretched. Too many matches have felt chaotic. Too many times opponents have run straight through the centre of the pitch. If Michael Carrick truly wants to build a side capable of challenging for Premier League titles again by 2028, as many supporters are dreaming, then recruitment in midfield must be absolutely elite this summer. No panic buys, no commercial signings, no shortcuts. Proper footballers with personality and tactical intelligence. So Reds, who would you go all in for this summer? Sandro Tonali, Elliot Anderson, another midfielder entirely? Because this decision could genuinely define the next era of Manchester United football. And personally, if Tonali is truly available and the financial package is realistic, I think Manchester United should push very hard. Players with that combination of technical quality and Premier League aggression do not become available often. Then finally, we come to the Casemiro story. And honestly, this feels like the natural end of a chapter that had both unforgettable highs and frustrating lows. According to Fabrizio Romano, Inter Miami have been in the final stages of a deal for months, and Casemiro reportedly wants Miami as his next destination. If this move happens, it would officially mark the end of one of the most experienced winners Manchester United have had in recent years. Now, let's give Casemiro the respect he deserves, because when he first arrived at Old Trafford, he completely transformed United's midfield overnight. The leadership, the tackles, the positioning, the mentality. This was a serial winner from Real Madrid CF, bringing elite standards into the dressing room. There were moments where he looked absolutely world-class for Manchester United, especially during that first season where his experience and composure helped stabilise the entire team. But football moves quickly, and over time, the physical demands of the Premier League became more difficult for him. The legs were not always there, transitions became tougher, and United increasingly needed younger energy and mobility in midfield. That does not erase what Casemiro gave to the club. Far from it. He brought professionalism, winning mentality, and experience to a dressing room that desperately needed leaders. And now, if he joins Inter Miami alongside some of the biggest names in world football, you honestly cannot blame him. The lifestyle, the project, the opportunity to finish his career in a different environment. It makes complete sense. But for Manchester United, this departure also signals something bigger. It signals the beginning of a younger, more energetic rebuild. The midfield is changing. The identity is changing. The standards are rising again. So Reds, this summer transfer window is shaping up to be absolutely gigantic. Rashford potentially leaving permanently. Tonali being linked with a move to Old Trafford. Casemiro edging closer to Miami. Massive decisions are being made behind closed doors, and the direction Manchester United choose now could determine whether this club truly returns to the summit of English football over the next few years. Do you trust the club to make the right decisions? Should Manchester United push all in for Tonali? Would you keep Rashford or cash in now? And who should replace Casemiro in midfield? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this debate is only just getting started. And make no mistake, this is huge for the future of Manchester United Football Club.